What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. What another week. What a couple of days of Champions League football. This competition fails. It fails to disappoint. I mean, where do we even start? Where do we even start? I guess we start by telling you guys to smash that like button right now if you ain't done so already, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're going to start with today's games. And the link is in the description for if any of you guys want to join. I see a couple people at the back already, so we're going to bring you in a bit. But let me kind of just get my 2 pence out on today's games. I was watching both in the first half, especially both Chelsea against Porto and Bayern, which I say Porto versus Chelsea and Bayern versus PSG. And boy, I mean, the Chelsea game was decent. It was a tactical battle, especially in that first half. A very tactical battle. To be fair, probably across the 90 minutes. And probably just how Tuchel wants it. The way that he's played since he's come at Chelsea, all their games have been or their best games, should I say, been very methodical, tactical, defensively tight, and then they can nick a goal or two as they did today, as they did against Atletico, as they did against Liverpool, as they didn't do against West Brom. But that's a story for another day. They did it in the big games. And it was another case of that. Porto started very, very well. And you're thinking, is there an upset on the hands? I mean, you always felt Chelsea at some point were going to score the away goal. And I say away goal because they're playing both legs in the stadium. So how much is the away goal at an advantage? I'd say not really, but it's 2-0. The 2-0 lead is the advantage. And that's what they got. A brilliant turn and shot by Mason Mount. Magic. Absolutely brilliant. The amount of criticism this guy has got this season, and he's been the only real performing player from Frank Lampard right through to Tuchel consistently all season. He has been performing. Not every other player can say that. Some of them haven't performed even for one manager, but he has come up trumps once again. And then Ben Chilwell to round it off, literally going round the keeper. 2-0, and you have to say Porto's goose is cooked. There's no way they're scoring 2 goals unannounced, unreturned against in the second leg against Chelsea. So we can put that one to bed immediately. Chelsea through to a semi-final under Tuchel. Bayern Munich versus PSG. I mean, we all felt this is the tie of the round. And I was so glad it didn't disappoint. You know, sometimes we get these big games and they end up disappointing. I never felt this game would. I always felt this game would be a good one. With Bayern dominating possession, dominating, let's say, attacking opportunities or attacking positions. But then you've got the counter-attacking speed and magic from Neymar, from Mbappe, the clinicalness. And they just, every time they broke, Bayern were in trouble. Every single time they broke. And I mean, Bayern might be disappointed not to score, but on another hand, you might say they'll just take the 3-2 loss and try again next week. They just try again because any point PSG went through, you felt, yeah, they can score today. They could score today. Bayern themselves had a lot of chances, but without Gnabry, without Lewandowski, Goretzka came off. I'm not sure if it was an injury. I think it was actually tactical, which actually worked when he brought Alaba on. No, Alphonso Davies on and moved Alaba into the middle. But either way, they've got a few injury issues, and PSG absolutely pounced upon that. Not without their own injury issues. Verratti, he was out from the beginning. Marquinhos came off at 2-0 just after he scored. And you saw that Bayern punished them defensively, especially in the air with Choupo-Moting and then Muller from the set piece without that defensive leader at the back. We're going to get into the games. Got to kick off people at the back. Going to bring them in now. Further, the Chelsea fan and Ramsey, Arsenal fan. I know the big competition is tomorrow, Ramsey. So we'll let the minions talk about this Champions League rubbish today. Let's talk about Chelsea first. I'm just going to bring in Abdi as well. Don't know if he's a Chelsea fan or a Hazard fan, but there's this Abdi. Father, 2-0 Porto. That's the tie done. Must be.
Not really. You have
Not
to give
really.
Not really. No, because I think we were too complacent at times. I felt that in the first half, it was more to the fact that we were parking the bus. We were the team that playing a low block. it was more to the fact that they would dominate that first 30 minutes or so before Mason Mount goal. I was feeling that we have to be patient against Porto. Give them the credit; they played their game, and I just think in that one moment that Mason Mount goal, I think it changed the complexion of halftime team talk because all of a sudden, like everything's come to back to normal again. It was more to the fact that it's the normal Chelsea that we know under Tuchel, and I can't lie. What I'm looking forward to this game is more the reaction after the defeat on Saturday, and if we look at overall performance today, professional win, getting 2 away goals. I would say probably like Mason Mount had a great game for me, man of the match for me as well. I think Mason Mount has been underappreciated by some of our fan base, even though for me, I think one of the players of the season so far. And yeah, man, I think from this performance, I wouldn't say it's not over yet, but I just think again, with the second leg's going to be played in the same venue, so basically there's no advantage for both teams. So overall, it's a big 2 away goals that we take to the second leg.
Abdi, Chelsea fan, I take it. What did you think about that game?
Well, apart from that little diving show from Porto, I think it wasn't that bad a performance from us, if I must say. They pressed us well, caused us a lot of problems in the first half. We fixed up in the second, and then we controlled the game and created very good chances. What people don't understand, Porto are a very good team. They're not there by luck. They're a very good team.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, when you get to a quarterfinal of a Champions League, everyone's there on merit. Let's keep honest. I've seen enough Champions League campaigns, and even let's say the one that Porto won in 2004, you're thinking, how you got through? How you got through? Deportivo beat AC Milan. Monaco beat who did Monaco beat? Real Madrid, I think it was.
And then they beat
Monaco when they went to the final also beat Chelsea. Porto beat Man United. When you get to a quarterfinal, semi-final, a final, it's not lucky. So yeah, you're right. Porto, they deserve to be there.
It was more to the fact that we had to grind ourselves, and as Abdi says, we're not playing well today. Let's be honest. It was more to the fact that professional performance by us, but on attacking sense, I think we both want to see more of our front three.
Ramsey, as a somewhat of a neutral Arsenal fan, talk about Chelsea first. I don't know if you watched that game at all, but if you did, what did you make of that?
In parts, sort of flicking back and forth. You know what? The West Brom game helped them get this win. I'm not gonna lie to you. They had their collapse. They had their collapse already. The only collapse so far, really, under Tuchel, and it was like, this ain't happening again. This ain't happening tonight. We had a training ground bust up in the week with Rudiger and Kepa. Obviously, Rudiger started today, which I think assumed he would anyway. But it just, and then they went on to obviously comfortably in the end win the game. And I think it went to how Tuchel would have planned it. I mean, you got to respect Mason Mount.
Yeah, man.
As more and more of I respect Mason Mount, I'm sort of losing the respect for Timo Werner, because that should be him. Under Tuchel, top goal scorer under Tuchel, Mason Mount, and that should be where Werner is, and it's not.
Wait, did Werner play today?
Yeah, he played today, man.
Yeah, because it was Havertz in the false nine.
Yeah.
Oh, and what did he do?
I think he had one header, didn't he? That he went over the bar.
Yeah, he had that one header. He could have put it away, but although he hadn't have a bad game, but it was just more fact like annoying to.
It was like he didn't have the magic that Mason Mount had. I mean, as you said, he literally turned the defender comfortably, and it just wasn't something that Timo Werner did, or you would have thought he would have done. But it took Mason Mount to just spin a defender and scored a goal, and a bit of magic. That's all you needed to get in front, and then obviously Chilwell's goal was the important one, because Chilwell's goal for me pretty much kills off the tie. like 2-0, 2 away goals. Porto need to go do the similar sort of thing. I guess it's the same stadium, right?
Yeah,
But,
same stadium.
Yeah, same venue.
They're just probably just not change their kit.
Yeah, no,
kind of.
but, Porto I just can't see, and Porto, from what I heard, were quite tight in the middle, kind of stopped Chelsea kind of going through. But you now need to go and score against this Chelsea defense, and I just feel like I can't see them scoring 2 goals without reply next week. So that for me seals Chelsea through.
Yeah, I
if
think
the
so.
last thing I need is this complacency. That's all. That's my only concern. Just complacency, a little bit, switch off and you get punished.
Well, we'll see in it because obviously you've who you playing on the weekend? I want to say Aston Villa. But
Palace.
Palace. I knew someone in purple, claret and blue. You went on a obviously unbeaten run when Tuchel first came in, and then you lost against West Brom. Now you've won today. It'll be interesting to see if they can go on another run, which I feel you may need to kind of solidify and get into the Champions League places in the league, and of course go through in the Champions League itself. I'm going to come back to the big game. We're going to go to stick on the same side of the draw. So obviously Chelsea versus Porto today. Yesterday was Real Madrid versus Liverpool, which is on the so-called easy side of the draw. Let me check some of these comments in a second. Shane says, Neeks, I did say how fragile Bayern are defensively. When people say Bundesliga attack, just take it real, innit? Because Bundesliga it's a league which is a bit of an anomaly. Everyone just goes gung-ho, really, and it's who's got the better shooters. And today, PSG had the better shooters with no Lewandowski up front, and no Gnabry. I think Bayern just lacked. As Shane says, after Sane was shocking. Like he had plenty of opportunities to do something. And the final ball, the shot, the pass, whatever it might have been, it wasn't good enough. Damien Perez says Neymar said, "What's up?" And he turned up, and him and Mbappe had to turn up. But we're going to get onto that. Real Madrid against Liverpool. Now, I enjoyed that one. I really did. All I gotta say is Gary Neville was right, innit? Gary Neville got so much, and Southgate got so much criticism. One, Southgate for not picking Trent in his in the squad, and Gary Neville for basically giving the reason why he thinks that he went for Trippier over, and even though he didn't pick Trent in his own squad, but anyway, he gave the reasons why he felt Southgate didn't. And those issues were defensively, and those were exposed massively against Real Madrid. A lot of people didn't fancy Real Madrid because they haven't been great this season, but Liverpool's been worse than them this season. That's the thing. I agree. This ain't a vintage Real Madrid side, but this is the worst Liverpool side on the clock, considering the players that they got and how many points they've actually picked up in the league. They run off form at Anfield, 6 losses in a row. Like it's garbage, absolute garbage. So I think for me, this is always a 50-50 game. Real Madrid fully deserved that victory. Toni Kroos in the middle, dominating play. People might have thought, oh yeah, he's finished. Modric, he's finished. No, they showed that they are world-class players, and Vinicius turned up. Father, obviously you're on that side of the draw. Liverpool, Real Madrid. I think Chelsea are through. For me, Real Madrid have got 1 foot, if not 2 feet, into the semi-finals. Would you be worried playing that Real Madrid side in a semi-final?
After what happened to yesterday's performance, slightly. Just because for me, I think the attacking threats merely come from Toni Kroos. If Toni Kroos plays that pass beautifully, I think we have to be organized defensively. We have to be organized. You looked at pass yesterday from Toni Kroos. That was on point. Vinicius goal. I think it was second goal.
That was the first goal.
I think first goal or second goal.
It was the first goal. Asensio was the second goal from Trent's back pass header.
But yeah, man, I think for me that we have to know if we face them in the semi-final, we have to nullify Toni Kroos and Luka Modric. And yeah, man, I would say I would not be overly concerned like we previously did, but I think genuinely, especially against Real Madrid midfield, you have to kill the midfield off. Otherwise, it's not going to be an easy game for us.
100%. 100. Abdi, Liverpool. What's wrong with Liverpool? Did you give them any chance going into that game against Real Madrid?
No. I said Real Madrid were going to win from as soon as they got the draw. I said Real Madrid are going to win. What I loved about this game, there are no more Liverpool fans bloody on Twitter. I've had enough of them. Oh, we're going to win this. Oh, we're going to win this.
I wish Rams was here.
They gave them a humbling.
I mean, I actually, at the beginning of the season, I had Liverpool to win the Champions League. I felt they're not going to win the league. Yeah, I did. It is what it is, isn't it? I said they're not going to win the league, so they're going to put all their eggs. At some point, they're going to have to put all their eggs into the Champions League basket. Obviously, I wasn't expecting one, all the injuries, and two, to them to just capitulate in the way that they did, because you have to remember, yeah, they had Van Dijk and Gomez out, but Real Madrid had Ramos and Varane out, so you can't even use that as an excuse. And cover, and who was it? Vasquez was playing right back, is it?
Yeah, and then Nacho and then Militao at the back.
Vasquez is a terrible right back. Like he's not good. He's not.
Oh, no, he's a wing back.
Yeah, but he's not very good defensively at all. So they can't even really use that as a reason as to why. They have to kind of hold the L. Keita Ramsey came in for a lot of stick. We're obviously not dealing with the racism element of it, but his performance alone, the fact that he was hooked off before halftime. Where do you think this game was won and lost for Real Madrid and, of course, Liverpool, Ramsey?
First half was a mess. First half was an absolute mess for Liverpool. And you could argue it's cost them this Champions League this year. This whole Champions League could rest on that first half performance. I mean, you could probably say Klopp picked Keita midfield because he thought maybe Real would mark Liverpool and he wanted Keita there as a more of a dribbler in the middle, but it just didn't work. Like, he was just so sloppy. It was strange after, Thiago had a good game against Arsenal. Wasn't necessarily his best game. He had a good game. We would have thought give him confidence to start against Real Madrid. But
I didn't understand that, like, to not play Thiago in a game, Champions League. Thiago Alcantara, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Champions League winner. I think he's won the Euros as well. You bought him in the summer as your marquee signing, and he's on the bench in the Champions League. I don't get it.
And what it did is just it literally said, for me, it said, okay, Real Madrid are going to have control of the ball now. That means Kroos is going to get on the ball, Modric's going to get on the ball, Casemiro, they're going to dominate the midfield. That looked like, for me, an easy way to just swing it to Real Madrid. Whereas I feel like the other way, it's a bit 50-50. Thiago plays. If Liverpool keep the ball,
you got Fabinho in there as well.
Yeah, they got a little bit more control of the ball. Gini will be a workhorse in there. To not have Thiago and have Keita just made me think, right, you're chasing the game now. You're just gonna let them have the ball and you're gonna chase the game and try to.
When's the last time Keita even played or done anything? Like, man just got brought out from in the like, if he scored a hat trick, people were gonna say, oh yeah, Klopp masterclass, but it was never gonna happen.
Yeah,
it was never gonna happen.
Yeah,
he's never played 4 games in a row.
Say that again.
He's never played 4 games in a row since he's been at Liverpool.
Flop. He's a flop.
And the thing is, and like, that's just one area. Like, Trent obviously had a mare. Phillips and Kabak, probably the first time they were been properly tested.
Yep.
In a big game, and it showed. Like, obviously it's obviously harsh on them. Like, the fact that obviously it's not really their fault. Obviously they're thrown into this sort of big game. Being Liverpool sort of at the moment sort of fourth choice centre backs, and they're kind of hoping that they didn't get exposed. They're probably hoping that Fabinho will be able to cover them as he has. And this is the thing. This is what I was saying about. This is what so frustrates me about Arsenal. You didn't even attack them. I'm not trying to bring this onto Arsenal. You didn't even attack them, but you didn't even let them feel any way of scared. You didn't even play the ball in behind. But what they did well was they let the front three in front of them, the Fabinho, Thiago, Milner, on the day, just not let the back four get troubled. Whereas yesterday, it was the opposite. Like, they literally, their midfield was letting Real Madrid bypass them time and time again, allowing the mistakes to be exposed of Trent and Phillips and Kabak, as a unit. And really, that was the undoing. Like, so it wasn't just Keita, but it was he played a part in all of it. Like, it just allowed Liverpool to get so exposed. They were just so easy to open up, and you have to kind of, in a sense, give them a bit of credit for, obviously Klopp changing it before even half time. and he got back into the game. And at that point, you think, right, you could potentially now you've got your attacking, now you've got your goal. Could you go on and get it? But listen, you can't against Real Madrid. It's not one of them games where it's going to be like you're going to go out and score 3 or 4 goals against them. Like, so it was never going to be easy.
You see, the thing is, and obviously, Barca's held some proper L's in the Champions League recently. 8-2, come 3-0 up, 4-0 against Liverpool. The Roma comeback, but you get a sense when Barca and Real Madrid, like when they fall off, as we call it, they're still there and thereabouts. Like, all right, Real Madrid, Barca got knocked out in the last 16. Cool. Real Madrid's probably going to go through to a semi-final. We're talking about these are teams that are at the end. They've fallen off. Both of them are trying to catch Atletico in La Liga. So one of them could still end the season with a La Liga trophy. I think one of them will. Atletico are finished right now. They're done. One of them will win the La Liga trophy, and Real Madrid could go in the Champions League. It's like even when they're at their worst, they're still a massive threat because they have all that experience in that side. You just know on that day. You think Real Madrid should have been out in the group stages. And they're scraping through against Mönchengladbach and those kind of things because they just got the know-how when to turn it on in those, in those clutch moments. Shane says, "Go, were you gonna say something?"
It's the experience. Like when you see Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro, man, that have been there, done that, lift the trophy so many times. It's like they know what they're doing. You can even just say to them like, just go out and do your job because you know what it's like to be at this stage, and you just allow and you have that experience with the youth of Vinicius and say like, go out and do your job. Like Benzema, time and time again, he didn't necessarily create the most, but in and around hassling them defenders, like they didn't want to face him. Like, he was on them all game and allowing Vinicius to run off him and do what he can do. Like that. The thing is with Barcelona, obviously, like they drew PSG. That's the end of the day. Yeah. Like if they drew maybe maybe a slightly easier team or whatever, then could have been different. We could have been seeing them here instead of one of the other teams. So like you don't really know how bad they are. If they went out to like a Gladbach in a quarter, you say, right, cool, they're bad. But they went out to PSG. PSG may even go on to win it. We don't know. Yeah. But Real Madrid now, they could have drawn PSG and been out last round. We not even if they beat Liverpool and they potentially beat Chelsea in the semi-final, we don't even know how.
It don't necessarily mean anything. Both Chelsea and Liverpool ain't like they're not the creme de la creme this season.
And then all it takes is one game to perform well on the day, and you're the Champions League winners. And again, when the experience comes through, if there's not a Bayern in there, if it's a Man City or a PSG, then you're looking and saying, "Right, the experience is sitting in that corner because them man have lost the final before."
Can't bet against Real Madrid in the Champions League. Shane says Zidane masterclass, and listen, I'm away in it. I'm away because if Zidane wins a fourth Champions League. There's a lot of apologies I'm waiting for. There's a lot of apologies because this man has been disrespected because I don't know. I think it's only because Ronaldo he won it. Now Ronaldo's gone now. Ronaldo got knocked out to Porto. If Zidane wins another Champions League, that's all I'm saying.
If he wins the like a World Cup potentially, if he becomes the France manager, do you think he can become like the greatest football figure of all time?
Probably. Because the only other manager to win is it Beckenbauer who's won a World Cup as a player and a manager? I think he's the only one. So Zidane will be the second to win the World Cup as a player and a manager. We know he's got that iconic.
Deschamps won. Didn't Deschamps win the World Cup as player and manager
in '98?
Yeah.
Oh, you might be right. So. Yeah, you might be right. France, again. But yeah, if then you've got him winning it as the Champions League as a player and a manager. Obviously, free Premier League. How many Champions Leagues has he got actually? He might have about 3 Champions Leagues or 2. I can't remember now.
Who? Real Madrid?
No. Zidane as a player. I can't remember
how many. As a player, he won it in
2000. He won it in obviously 2002. Did he not? Yeah. When they won it in 2000, was he there? And 98? I can't remember.
97,
I think he's won 2.
Okay. So, that would be unbelievable if he did that. For me, at this point, all he needs is some consistent league wins. He's got 2 so far. If he can win a few more leagues, then he's undoubtedly the conversation as greatest of all time. Because to win 3 Champions Leagues in a row already, Like no one's done that before in the modern era anyway. Maybe I don't know who the manager was when Real Madrid won like 5 times in a row back in the days. And I can't see anyone do it anytime soon. Look at Bayern Munich, which we're going to get onto now. Look at Bayern Munich. You're going into this thing thinking, yeah, it's a tough game, 50-50, but you go into the season, you're thinking Bayern Munich are favourites. Man City's got a chance, but Bayern Munich are favourites. And every time they play, you're like, Bayern Munich are favourites. Bayern Munich are favourites. And then Bayern Munich at home to PSG. Yeah, a few injuries here and there. And PSG score 3 away goals. Abdi, what did you make of that?
Mbappe. That kid is something special, I'm telling you. And Neymar as well. Like Neymar even tweeted, like there's something that he posted on his Twitter. Like his dad said, he's obsessed with winning, although he doesn't show it. But yeah, man, do you guys think that Bayern have a chance of coming back the next leg?
Yeah, I do. Father, what do you think? Do you think Bayern's got? You're eating there. Let me go to Ramsey. Don't worry. Do you think Bayern's got a chance coming back?
You can't rule them out, but I just think without Lewandowski, I just can't see it. Like I think, like to have. I mean, how many shots they had? Like what, 25 shots or whatever in the game. Not being clinical was the problem today for Bayern. I know defensively is another part. We'll get onto that. But going forward, to create 25 chances against PSG and only score 2 goals shows that there's a lack of quality up top. And Chupo ain't Lewandowski. That's the reality of it. Yeah,
no, man, he's better. What are you talking about? You listen to that head
like losing Gnabry. No Gnabry is one thing, but some of the chances that he had, some of them, and even obviously it's different because maybe Lewandowski will be in different positions, different movement, all sorts, whatever. But like, he's the king right now. You know he's scoring in that game, no matter what. You know the amount of chances they created, he's scoring. If not, Lewandowski could have a hat trick in that game today. That's how much they exposed PSG defensively, but they just weren't clinical enough. So I think XG Bayern were like 4.18 or something like that. Like they created enough clear-cut goal scoring opportunities to win this game, but they weren't. And I think the same thing. I could see the same thing happening next week. Obviously, 3-2 is close. You know what I mean? A 2-goal margin swings it.
Do you think the away goal is actually that crucial in these circumstances where you got no fans?
It depends because I mean, obviously, like the Champions League final was cagey. This was the opposite. So it's like we had a complete opposite, different like games. Like completely different.
That was Tuchel's fault, innit? Because Tuchel likes a cagey game. Clearly, it was all
Come on, man.
But then this could happen if you go the other way. You get like Poch got the win, but Bayern could have easily won this. Like, do you know what I mean? And probably Tuchel didn't want to go like that. And he's always been like that anyway, really. Whereas Poch is just out here with vibes, isn't it? And you never know. It might work. Like it might work. I still don't know. Like, yeah. Well, he's got them. They won the league. They won the game, innit? So credit him for that. But like, yeah, just for Bayern with all their players, this doesn't happen to them. This doesn't normally happen to them, man.
I
have a sneaky feeling there's going to be a Poch tax factor in the second leg. I have a sneaky feeling though. Even though without Lewandowski, I think they're still able to score, but it was more to the fact that can they go win 2 more goals though? Because I think if they win like 1-0 lead, it's not going to be good enough. So I'm thinking like, where's the attacking going to coming from though? Honestly,
you guys look up Sane today.
I don't know what happened with Sane.
Sane.
Ever since he moved from Man City, he's been poor.
Sane playing good today. I didn't watch it though.
No, he didn't play good today.
Ever since he left City, I can't believe it.
No, I think he's been all right in the season overall. He's been. They've generally rotated their wingers. So Gnabry, Sane, Coleman, and who's the other one?
Costa,
Muller, and then,
Costa.
It might be Costa. They've rotated them pretty much. So I think Sane's probably started half the amount of games that he's come off the bench, and the same as the others. But today he was awful, man. He was terrible. Like they kept going through to him to kind of make something happen.
To be fair, Bayern hasn't got a lot of options on the bench as well. Though. They only can bring on Musiala.
Yeah, I mean PSG. Who have they really got? Okay, they brought on Moise Ken. What's Abdi do? Abdi doing the madness. They got Moise Ken. Verratti was out. Marquinhos came off injured. I thought, I guess what PSG had is 2 star quality players up front. One to create in Neymar, one to finish in Mbappe. And it's not to say that Bayern haven't, because Muller is a star. Like, he's a star player. Choupo-Moting's not. Shane says Coleman greater than Sane. Well, listen, I don't rate Kingsley Coleman that highly. I'm not going to lie. I just don't. Now, I know he scored a Champions League final. I think he's got some talent, but I don't know. He doesn't excite me. I think, Ramsey, you kind of like Coleman, or used to anyway, I think. I'm not. He's a good player, but he ain't Mbappe, he ain't Neymar, he ain't even Di Maria for me.
You just ain't for me. You just ain't got that cutting edge to put him up to get him at that level, the top level. Like, he's got the pace, which most French wingers have these days. He's got the skill, but yeah, just that level, that clinicalness to go and like bag 20 goals a season. Like, you ain't got that. You ain't got that sort of side to him, really. So Coman over Sane ain't saying much to me, like, because Sane's can be quite similar. The thing is with Sane, I think he's got the potential more than Coman.
Yeah, I agree.
Sane's got that potential to go to do the mad thing and get onto that level. Whereas I feel like Coman, we're just seeing him for him. Like, this is him. And you can kind of I'll probably put Ousmane Dembele in the middle of both of them. He's a little bit like, you never know what you can get. You might get something, you might not. You might get amazing, you might get the worst of it. But yeah, I mean, them two, yeah, is a bit of here, there, and everywhere, really. But for me, yeah, just like Nabry would have just been a bit different. Would have given them a bit more of a cutting edge that they didn't have that side, and he would have definitely started. So yeah, they missed him. They were weakened with him as well. But yeah.
Ahmad in the chat, PSG fan. Good to see you. How's Leo? That's what I've got to ask you. How are Leo? No, listen, it's a great win for PSG. They went away to Barca. Go on.
The one thing I want to say is, I think Pep's laughing. I think Pep's laughing because I think Pep would rather play. I think Pep would rather play PSG than Bayern in the semi-final.
I agree.
I think Pep's laughing.
I was thinking the same thing, because Man City will play similar to how Bayern played in terms of dominating possession and creating those openings. Will you think with Diaz? I think Diaz for me is the one. Bayern don't have a Diaz at the back. Alaba's good when he plays. He's good when he plays centre back. Nothing more than that. They don't have a Diaz at the back. I think Neymar and Mbappe won't be able to expose Man City defensively in the same way or as bad as PSG did. However, you say that Dortmund could have scored a couple goals yesterday. Probably should have scored a couple goals yesterday.
Yeah.
So how about you really laugh in a Champions League semi-final? I don't think you can.
They could have gone 2-2. I can't lie. They could have gone 2-2. I think that wasn't a foul.
Oh, 100% that wasn't a foul.
Yeah.
We know
the thing is with Man City is that, like, I felt like they knew either way. Like, they could always, like, when they went to 1-1, they weren't even. I don't think they even were worried.
No, I don't agree, Razzie. I don't agree.
Like, I felt like they stepped on the intensity, but I didn't see panic in them. It was a bit like we need to go and score another goal. But I don't think it was like, I don't think they were worse. I think even like, I think with PSG now, you have to be more worried, because if PSG get something, you might not be able to get at them as much. But I felt like they always had the quality to get through Dortmund. It would just be, for me, it would just be, can you keep out Mbappe and Neymar? Because you could have the greatest defenders in the world, but they're the two of the greatest forwards in the world. So, and I think they will tend to outweigh any great defense. So it's about how they can stop. The one thing with Bayern, though, was interesting today, because apparently the news got leaked before the game that Boateng's going to leave Bayern at the end of the season. And like, apparently Bayern didn't want that to come out. before the game, and obviously Boateng didn't start and then had to come on. And it's like, where's his mindset? Because he's just been told that you ain't staying, and everyone knows about it. So it's like, do I even care? So it's like, yeah.
I just think if PSG knock out Bayern, I don't think Pep can laugh. I think you have to double down how wary you are. Like, you're already wary. You're like, damn, because we know that PSG's got the ability, but now they've got maybe the know-how, the experience. Last season Champions League final, they flopped. Neymar and Mbappe flopped. They should have won the game and they didn't. This time, over 2 legs, if they go and do it, they've got that kind of, all right, we got over that hurdle, we got over that hoodoo. Let's go and win it this time now. Man City still ain't got over whatever hoodoo, semi-final, quarter-final.
But then there's Poch. It's not the same. It's Poch now. And I think Pep can outwit Poch easily. I think he can. I know Poch done him. I think Poch done him in the Champions League.
With Tottenham.
So, yeah. So now it's a case of, all right, cool. Let's see what happened then. Pep don't forget things. So I think this is the one Pep wants. I don't think he wanted Bayern. I think he wanted, especially if Lewandowski would be fit.
Well, if I'm correct, I think Lewandowski would have missed the first leg of the semi-final.
Yeah, 4 weeks. So it would have been touch and go.
Yeah, missed the first leg, which would have been massive. I just think if you keep Neymar and Mbappe.
By the way, it still could happen. It could be Dortmund. It could be Dortmund Bayern.
Listen, these ties are in the balance. I think with this PSG one, as I was saying, Neymar and Mbappe had to step up today, and they did. Neymar got 2 assists. Draxler had a goal ruled out for offside. Mbappe was like a toe offside. It was very, very close. Every time they went forward, it looked dangerous. I don't think it's not over. It's not over. Like, Bayern could easily go to Paris and win. The amount of chances that they created today, the amount of shots they had, even without Lewandowski, I think the likes of Muller, I don't know what Gnabry's fitness is like, but the likes of Muller, Kimmich, Goretzka, Sane if he's on it, Coleman if he's on it, they can put those chances away, even without Lewandowski. I think today was the best of PSG. I can't see PSG playing any different or any better against Bayern next week, because I think they played well. You know, I guess Verratti might play, Marquinhos may be back. I don't know what his injury is, so maybe you might get a better performance there. But in terms of the way that they're going to try and defend and then go forward, it's going to be pretty much same again. And I think that it's going to be all about whether Bayern are clinical or not, as opposed to the other way around. Obviously, I think the first goal will be crucial. If PSG get it, Bayern are chasing because they're going to need three goals after that. Yeah. So 3 away goals.
Gnabry and Verratti both have tested positive for COVID, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
So I know that. Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, so all they need is a negative test, and they'll be back.
Yeah.
With PSG, it says PSG had a total of 6 shots. Bayern had 31, and then PSG created 6 chances, and Bayern created 25.
But what it was is the clinicalness.
Yeah,
Bayern, like PSG were clinical with the. I mean, they were clinical, but Neuer gave them that first goal.
It was a howler for Neuer. I did saw the first goal.
Early as well. So early to give that kind of howler away. It's like the mindset, the mentality is already shifted already.
Yeah.
Like, you make the big save early on, it's like, cool, advantage me. I got my save over you. Like, but at the same time, like as you said, like with the last goal with Kylian, it's like Bayern didn't have that. They didn't have that ability to just run at man, cut in, bam. Like, so
the man, like, he kind of did a little kind of a fake, see where Neuer was gonna go, and pull him near post. The coolness in front of goal.
Yeah,
I think Bayern were lacking that.
Do you think Alphonso Davies should have started?
Hindsight's a beautiful thing.
I don't know the state of him. Is apparently he's not playing well this season. Not as well as he was last season. So I think that's, form kind of comes into it, isn't it? I think they probably want to be a bit more solid, but I thought they would have been a bit more solid.
Yeah, they were. Right. I mean, but again, if you're going to play that high line against Mbappe and Neymar, then you're going to need pace at the back. So you can't it's a tough one, isn't it? He made a change. I said I don't think the way Goretzka ran off the pitch, I'm sure. So I or jogged off at least. I'm not sure if he was actually injured, so I think he kind of saw the error, brought Davis on, and did he move Alaba to the? He moved Alaba to the midfield and Lucas Hernandez into the left centre back position. So that's on pace, basically, at the centre back position. So I think that was a tactical move because they were just getting like every time PSG got the ball, they was breaking and looked like they score at any time. Moving on to City against Dortmund, or more specifically, I should say, Varchester City against Borussia Dortmund. Moada says Diaz at the back versus the press. I want to see it. He will be exposed.
It's not over though. It's not over. It's not over time.
And Shane says, I think if Dortmund score first, I think City will start to panic. Same with Pep. I'm going to Abdi first.
Oh no, I didn't watch the game. I was watching
that game.
I did watch it.
Go on. What did you make of that?
I did watch a little bit of that game. Especially, I think it was more end-to-end game. I can't lie. It should have been got that goal though. The Jude Bellingham goal.
Yeah,
it should have been Stan. But other than that, it was more to the fact that it was end-to-end game. It's such a shame they got that second goal. And I think for Dortmund, it's crucial that they got that away goal because I think it's going to change the whole complexion of the game in the second leg. And I think it's going to be a much more different game. If they got that 1-0 up and then they hang on for 90 minutes, Dortmund are going to go through.
Ramsey, what you saying?
Well, I mean, it was actually all about the 20-year-old golden boy, Phil Foden. It was about the 20-year-old golden boy, Phil Foden.
Yeah, what about that?
Listen, it was billed as the Haaland show. Haaland is in Manchester. He's at the Etihad. Loves the stadium and all sorts. And then Phil Foden and De Bruyne done their thing. Interesting that obviously Pep seems to have settled now on a false nine. Whoever goes in the false nine, a false nine's on the pitch or no striker, whichever. And they seem to be more comfortable. Like I feel like Aguero and Jesus, obviously Aguero just not as he was, and Jesus is as he is. Not the same. And he prefers to just. They seem a bit more fluid because anyone could go in there. Can be KDB, can be Gundogan, can be Silva, Foden even drift in there as well. So can be whoever wants to take up that spot on the next counter attack. That's you. And I feel like he's just comfy with that. And obviously they got the option. They brought on Jesus afterwards. But yeah, man. I mean, definitely. I think no one. There's no debate. I think the referee wasn't great all game. I just feel like he had a bit of a mare. Even the penalty.
Was he a young buck? He looked kind of young.
Yeah, he felt like he was trying to put his authority by making these decisions. Like, I'm right. This is the decision that I'm making. I'm right. Where you were wrong. And sometimes he got he didn't want to humble himself. The VAR had to tell him to humble himself and change your decision for the penalty because you're wrong. And then the goal, like the Premier League referee wouldn't. I say they wouldn't blow. We saw what happened once this season in a Burnley game, but you tend to let them go and just wait. You just needed to wait a second or two longer to blow the whistle and then say, "Cool, it wasn't a foul." Simple like that. You just needed to wait. Why are you blowing the whistle when you got VAR there? You don't need to do it. But then when your money's long, innit? So it's like.
I mean, Man City paid for that official, man.
KDB better than Bruno.
All right, chill, man. We're playing the real competition on Thursday. You'll see what my man can do against the Granada, who are flying the flag for Spain in
Can ask something.
And Villarreal as well. They got 2 Spanish contingents as well.
Yeah, we're playing in Roma, isn't it? We'll get on to that tomorrow or whatever. I think that referee, he was having a mare. I think the penalty decision, from where I'm looking on the TV, I saw a foot go up. I didn't know how high it went. He gave a penalty. But I also saw a head go down. So you're already thinking he's already gone in for it, like to go lower. So you have to give a bit of a leeway. But the referee's a few yards away. He can see much clearer than me. The foot is nowhere near up at head height. And even though the head ducks down, the foot didn't reach above the knee. So for him to even give a penalty, I think was a terrible decision. And then he goes to the monitor, and the man's there for about 10 minutes. Like I think it's like he was trying to find something to stick with his decision. And I feel, I don't know, but I feel like they were in his ear, like, boss, don't do it. Don't do it. And we know you want to give a penalty. Don't do it. It'll be embarrassing. Change your decision. Trust me on this one. Listen, trust me. Change your decision. And I think he was forced to change his decision. It was embarrassing because he also gave a yellow card to Emre Can. And I don't think he rescinded the yellow card. So when you get another opportunity to make a strong decision, the man just blew immediately. Like, he just blew immediately. I'm like, you don't need to do that. Because it's a bit different in, remember 2006 final, and Eto'o goes, is Eto'o goes around it? No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eto'o goes around Lehmann, and I think it was Ludovic Julie who slotted it in, but he blew before Julie got there. That he could have allowed it to go, get the goal, give a yellow card to Lehmann, but he decided to blow, but he gives a red card. So he's made the decision. Either way, it punishes Arsenal. Either he's going to allow it to go on and they get 1-0 down, or they give the red card. I guess Arsenal probably would have wanted 1-0. We can come back into it. This one, he blows up immediately. Not to give a red card or a foul for Dortmund, to give the decision the other way. And you look back on the replay, you're like, if anything, Ederson fouled Bellingham. But Bellingham got the ball and Ederson kicked him. So you're like, what is it that you're looking at to be so sure that you're going to give that decision immediately? All you have to do is say, wait 2 seconds. Then when it goes in, you can start around blowing to give a free kick to Man City, knowing that VAR is there to help you. But yeah, he had an absolute shocker. Man City, I mean, it was actually kind of similar to the PSG game, Bayern game, in the sense that Man City dominated the ball. They created the more openings and the more chances. Foden should have scored at least 2 goals before he actually did score. And I think there's a few other openings that they created. Dortmund do get the equalizer through Marco Reus. I think in 1-1, take that back home, great result, and then Foden pops up. And as you said, Father, that ball from De Bruyne, left foot, pinpoint, Gundogan takes it down, passes it back to Foden, and first time finish. And like his celebration was like he's very frustrated that he missed all those chances already. And they were great chances because he was creating a lot of them, getting it, turning, running at his man, and then missing the target. He had a very good performance up until when he scored, and then that made an absolutely great performance. Probably man of the match, maybe between him and De Bruyne, I'd say. Bellingham was brilliant. I think there was when people saw Bellingham in Carragher's team for the England, the squad. Some people were like, why is Bellingham there and this person there? Not that person not there. And then you watch that game against. Say that again.
Got a good shot to be in the England squad.
Well, you look at that game against Man City and you're like, damn, this guy might need to go because England's midfielders ain't great anyway.
To be fair to Southgate, Papa loves him. Always calls him up. Was desperate to get him in the last squad as well. So I think he's got a good chance of being in. Yeah,
he's a box
17,
right?
17 years old as well.
Off the box.
Yeah.
17. Did Birmingham retire their shirt in the end, or they went back on that?
Yeah, they retired it.
Oh, they retired it.
Yeah, they retired it.
Someone said like you can see from that why his departure nearly collapsed the club. Like he's that good. Like really, you retired his shirt, but this guy could go on to be a world beater. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. Go on.
Where do you rank De Bruyne like among the Premier League greats?
Premier League great.
Go, yeah. What are you saying, Ramsey? Premier League great.
What I mean, as in like all time Premier League.
Yeah. Midfield or wherever.
One of the best. Like he's one of the best.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Hundreds, thousands of players have passed through the Premier League. Is he top 10? Midfielders.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, you said that like easy.
Oh no, 100. Wait,
Okay.
when you say midfielders, you mean
I'm talking
like,
all midfield. So
well, what's a
defense,
midfielder? Like Salah? Is Salah a midfielder?
No, Salah's not. Salah's a forward. Salah's a forward.
Then yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Because you got Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard. Obviously, they're in the top 10.
Yeah.
Makelele.
Not above De Bruyne.
Okay. No, I'm saying, would you put him in top 10?
Maybe.
All right. Vieira.
Vieira, yeah. Vieira.
Yaya. Cesc.
Cesc, yeah.
David Silva.
Yeah.
So that's 7. Beckham.
Yeah.
Giggs.
Giggs,
Yeah.
Bruno.
That's 9. That's 9.
I put Bruno in on. And
Like De Bruyne's in there though. Like De Bruyne's in the above.
Okay. Of
them, man.
those 9, which one De Bruyne's better than? Because he could be a 10, but I think there's another one out there that I just say, anyway. But of those 9, is he better than any of those 9 for you?
Yeah.
Who? Which
He's
one?
better than
I didn't include Makelele in that.
I see. Like like for me, he's better than David Silva. Like David Silva might be like maybe a big legend, but yeah, I think De Bruyne's better than David Silva. I think he's probably better than Yaya Toure.
No,
I think he's probably better than Yaya Toure. It's difficult because they're very very different.
Save this argument another day.
I think De Bruyne's better. But De Bruyne is cold. Yeah, like it's so hard to look back and see in it because it's very different. Even Vieira, like Vieira's sick. Vieira's sick, and he has been sick. But De Bruyne's had that same sort of domination that Vieira had at that time. He's got that same, he's got the Premier League on lock, and he's had the Premier League on lock for years, bro. Like he's got the same thing that Gerrard and Lampard and Vieira and Yaya. He's got that now. He's that of now. He's that guy of now. Like Lampard.
I've been feeling De Bruyne the best midfielder in the world before anyone. Like
and still is.
I've been early. He might be top 10. He might scrape in at the moment. At the end of his career, maybe, but he may be 10th. I give him 10th right now by default. But that's as high as I'm going. But yeah, in terms of Man City, I think the away goal is massive. I really do. Because
the Dortmund away goal, yeah.
I think the Dortmund away goal for me is bigger. Obviously, it's much bigger than the Chelsea ones because they're playing in the same stadium. I think it's probably bigger than the PSG 3 goals because I think Bayern can just turn up. Like when Bayern are ready, they can just turn up and win regardless of what's happening. That Dortmund game, I think, is on. Like the Liverpool away goal, I think is pointless. I think they're out anyway. I hope I'm right. Famous last words. But I think this Bayern away, this Dortmund away goal 2-1. They're gonna go again. I think they will score at home anyway. So that will kind of bring the tie back level. Then it's up to Man City to get one or more at Dortmund Stadium. I don't know if they've got Sancho back for that game. I don't know what his injury status is. If he is back, it'll be massive. Haaland didn't even score. Like, is Haaland going to go 2 legs without scoring?
No, there's an interesting.
He did contribute the first.
He did. But he had a chance to score, and Ederson saved it.
There's an interesting I saw earlier. Haaland scored against every Champions League side he's ever faced.
So yeah, is he going to go on 2 legs against Man City and not score?
You never know. Yeah, I
might fancy him to score. You've got to respect Pep, and then it's all about can Man City keep them at the other way? I mean, like.
And
Man
also,
City can
Man City close it out? Because what happened in their quarterfinals in the past. They lost against Lyon, they lost against Spurs, they lost against Liverpool. So can they close it out?
But maybe they needed the big teams. Maybe this is it. Maybe they took their foot off the gas against the smaller teams, and they really needed now the Dortmund to PSG to Real Madrid to win maybe they needed it. Maybe they need to face up to the big boy there and say, can you go out and do it? Because maybe this is the challenge. maybe this is the challenge. But we'll have to see. We have to like the thing is like with Man City's defense, it's not unstoppable. It's just the fact that they keep the ball so well that it's hard to get the ball to get at the defense. It's not that how great the defense is magnificent, one of the best ever. It's just what I mean. They keep the ball so well. I mean, like we know John Stones. You can get at John Stones. Is that can you get there to get at him? Can you do that?
It's like every time you get at him, it's not necessarily you're gonna get past and score.
Yeah.
So you need to do it a few times, and one of those times is gonna break. But if you don't do it enough, then it's one of the arguments I always use against Gerard Piqué. I was like, because he's never exposed. But you attack them 3, 4, 5 times, he's gonna flop. He's not a Rio or a John Terry who, regardless of how much times, they always keep their composure. John Stones, 100%. We won't be. I mean,
and also how much like Edison isn't that great of a shot stopper.
No, he's not.
Like when he gets in shots coming against them, they tend to go in. He's obviously great.
He doesn't pull off world-class saves. You don't often see world-class saves by Ed Edison.
Yeah, and they say like you need it's funny. They always say you need a great goalkeeper to win the Premier League, but Man City keep the ball so well that you can get away with it with that team. So it's like if Mbappe and Neymar, provided obviously the two go through, can get them shots away, how much is Edison really going to keep them in the tie?
That's interesting, man. For me, I think Chelsea are through. I think that's done. I can't see them losing that, as in losing the tie.
By the way, Moada said KDB has 1 at EPO. He's got 2, and he's about to get 3. So
yeah, but can you argue that he wasn't?
What did he win? 2018 and 19, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can say 2019 he wasn't there.
Yeah, even this season he wasn't there.
He's been around enough this season.
Yeah, but he wasn't instrumental this season, though, was he? It was more Gundogan.
He wasn't their best player. Gundogan.
Even Morris.
No, he's not their best player this season. Diaz more influential, 100%.
Yeah.
But you can't take it. They can't take it away from him. He's played, isn't it? He's played.
Yeah.
The 2019 one, I hear you. Like he wasn't there. He wasn't there, and they won it. How many games did he actually play 2019?
And arguably his best season was last year when they didn't win it.
Stats wise, anyway. All those assists. So his Premier League record. I mean, he would definitely go down as one of the Premier League greats. Is he there already? I don't know. But for me, the Premier League. Amadeus
is signed a new deal, so he's going to be here for a few more years at least, isn't it?
No, I'm not hating, man.
But listen, for me, Chelsea are through. I think Real Madrid are 1 foot in the semi-finals. So you're gonna.
I think Real Madrid are through.
I hope so. I really do. I was bitten when Barca went 3-0 up against Liverpool. I was like, good night, see you later, and Liverpool turned it around. Luckily, there's no Anfield crowd, I guess. So.
Like I feel like at the start of the game, it's probably a 50-50 tie. Whereas right now, like Real Madrid are like 70-30, 80-20, like that kind of because of how Liverpool ain't won at Anfield since December. I know they got Aston Villa there on the weekend, but like there's no roaring crowd. There's no like that. You know what I mean? That if they had that, then I'd say you're probably looking at could be a miracle, could be on the cards. With their form being so bad at Anfield, like
they're more like
the Aston Villa game's going to be crucial.
Yeah.
The Aston Villa game's going to. If they don't win at Aston Villa, for me, they've got. I don't think they've got any chance. I don't think they've got any chance. But they can get a good win this weekend, get their confidence up. Then.
Well, listen, the first goal is the goal. If Liverpool get it, they're right back in with a chance. If Real Madrid get it, it ties over. So I think the first goal is the goal. What are you gonna say, Abdi?
Wait, is Grealish back in it?
Maybe. But listen, guys. That's it. First leg. Mohamed Ahmad's just joined, but you're late, bro. I see you in the background.
Enjoy tomorrow's competition, by the way.
Yes, we will. We will be here for Arsenal against Slavia Prague, Granada against Manchester United in the European quarterfinal.
I'll be here if you lose, Neeks. I'll be here if you lose, man.
Be here when we. So I don't expect to see it. So I don't expect to see
European Cup. Yeah.
No. You'll see me if you win as well.
Oh, okay. So I will see you tomorrow. We will be winning. But that's it from us, guys. 2 ties, I think, on tenterhooks, on the knife edge. 2 ties, I would say, are pretty much done. But next week, second leg is going to be exciting. Nonetheless, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, share the content, and we will see you soon.